What is a suggestion, Tuba?
All your suggestions will be carefully.
So just 1 second.
Understood?
Got my family here today and they keep sticking their nose in the door.
Sorry?
It's all right. What is a suggestion?
What is a suggestion? Suggestion like
Yes.
the things that you really like to, or to make the other ones also. It's like a
All right.
good
So
thing.
what suggestion would you make to me?
Be happy. Smile.
Be happy. Fair enough.
Always.
All right. All your suggestions will be carefully something before we come to a decision. Which one? Conserved, understood, considered, or undermined?
Consider it is more suitable, I think.
Yes, it's most suitable. Okay, and that is the correct answer. Now, what does undermined mean? If I undermine you, what does it mean?
Undermined, maybe it's like
I can't hear you, Suba.
hey? Now it's okay?
Yes.
I just said that undermined like words, something consider, let me explain. I will just say
Mm-hmm.
undermined.
Is it a positive word
It's
or a
like a
negative word?
distort, yeah, bad thing. For example, distort something
Yes, it's a bad
or
thing.
yeah.
That's right. If somebody's undermining you, they are trying
No,
to
I
cause
guess.
you trouble. So they
Some
might
accident.
gossip about you. They might gossip about you and say, "Oh, Tuba's a horrible girl. Don't employ her, or don't go out with her."
No, I
So it
think that's
depends on
not
the cut,
like
but
that.
it's generally a negative word.
Yeah, the negative, bad
Now,
things.
what does conserved mean?
It's like a protect. For
Yes.
example,
Give me an
conservers
example.
like foods.
Yep, that's right. Conserved foods. Do
Yes.
you like eating?
I like, but it's not healthy, so I don't prefer much.
Okay, thank you, Tuba.
Thank you too.
Right, Zoe, hello.
Hello.
We have not had a Zoe
Hello.
in this class before. Very welcome. Especially one with a
Thank
big
you.
smile like yours. Do you believe which one? On, in, at, or two ghosts?
The
That's right, in ghosts. Now, what is a ghost?
Um, Ghost.
Yeah, what's a ghost?
and, and the people uh, dead.
Yeah, more or less. It's some people believe it's people who are dead. No, give me another word instead of ghost.
Another one. Spirit.
Yeah, spirit. It's not entirely the same, but it's sort of the same. So spirit, some people believe in spirits and some people believe in ghosts. So when you die, Zoe, would you like to come back as a ghost? Oh,
Oh, yes.
all right. Zoe, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Good ghosts or bad ghosts?
Uh, bad ghost.
Hmm. All right. Michael, what is a poltergeist? I've written the word there for you. Not a good ghost or a bad
I think
ghost?
it's a kind of a ghost who
Yeah.
lives in the house
Yep.
and
And
terrify the inhabitants of the house
right. How
regularly.
does it terrify them? You are
I don't
correct,
know.
but how does it? It's
He
usually
can
noise
yeah, and
and
he
throwing
can
things
move
around.
exactly.
That's right. There. So it's poltergeist are usually negative, and you really wouldn't want one in your house. Do the next one, please, Michael. After careful something on the pros and cons, she decided to go ahead and do it. What are pros and cons?
It means good things and the bad things on such a matter.
Correct. So pros is positive, cons is negative. So the good things, the bad things. Right. Which one? Thinking, dreaming, examination, or reflection?
After careful thinking on the pros,
No.
A.
You've got to look at
No.
this because it only goes with one of them.
Mm. So maybe reflection.
Correct. So it's reflection on.
Uh-huh.
Um, it would be about for these two. So after careful thinking about the pros and cons, or dreaming about the pros and cons. And what would it be for examination? After careful examination, something is not on. So
Off.
what's the
Off.
preposition? Yeah, of. Correct. So it all depends on the preposition you use. What does it refer to?
To something which should be reflection on.
Good. Good answer. Because it's not actually you don't actually tell what it is in the sense, but yes,
Yeah.
it's the thing she is reflecting on.
Yeah.
What is reflection?
I got it connected with a mirror, like what you see in the
Yeah,
mirror.
that's one. Yeah, what you see in the mirror. But if the verb to reflect, well, actually,
Yeah. So
it's a phrasal verb, and it's to reflect on. It's nothing to do with looking in a mirror. So if you reflect on pros and cons, what are you doing?
maybe you are thinking about it.
That's right. So you're considering them, you're thinking what's good, what's bad. And one of the great things in Australia, they love you to reflect on your essays and think carefully about them. I don't like the word. It's very, anyway, so, but that's the latest thing. You must reflect on your problems and think about them. Okay, thank you.
Class.
Sandy, yes,
Can we go back to that ghost thing? Ghost.
yes,
And
certainly.
because can you say that can you say that word again? Because I think it's kind of new to us. Post
Okay,
something.
poltergeist.
Say it again, please.
Poltergeist.
Okay. Because to us, we have simply just ghost. And is there a famous figure for poltergeist?
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
So
Is
it's
there
P
a
O
famous
L T
figure or
E
character?
R.
Yeah, I mean in the novel.
Poltergeist.
Okay. Is
There are
there
some
a,
films
okay.
which are well known, and there's a particular film that was my generation and probably yours. I'll show you the picture. Wait a minute.
So usually
Where the
not
ghost
bad.
came out of the. they're not good.
Just
No, you don't
they're
want a
not good.
poltergeist. And do you remember
Okay.
that film?
Do we have it here? 有没有看过? No.
Yeah, I don't know. It was about 25 years ago, and a ghost came out of the television and threatened the family.
And
It was called
okay.
Poltergeist.
Okay.
And
I think about ghosts, there are different notions about ghosts in Eastern and Western world. Like our ghosts
very much.
seldom walk on the floor; they float. But English ghosts,
They float.
they make a big noise when they're walking
Well, it
on attic.
depends. Have you
Okay.
heard of Casper the Ghost?
Cast of a ghost.
Yes. Just a minute. This was a cartoon character, and he was very well known when I was a child. I know my children know him, but that's only because I've told him about them. But it was called Casper
Yeah,
the Friendly
we
Ghost.
know him, Casper. And he's a
Yeah,
ghost.
and he was abnormal because he was friendly.
Okay.
All his brothers and sisters said he was an idiot,
I
being
think
friendly.
after this character, everyone loves the ghost. So it's a good character.
Yes,
I love also.
it was. And it was spelt
所以现在
Casper.
你们知道 Casper 吗？有没有看过？ Yeah. See, I think we don't talk that much about ghosts. It's in our culture, because Confucius says, if you don't know the real life and you don't want to discuss about the future after death, so concentrate on
Yeah.
the current life. So that's we don't talk that much about ghosts.
In the West, children often dress up as ghosts, and they put a white sheet on their head and go "Ooh!" and try and scare people.
Do we
So
have
that's
similar
quite common
custom
here.
I don't think so. 我们有
I
扮
don't
鬼
know.
吗？啊？真是
Sandy, have you pretended to be a ghost?
OK。
No.
你说真的？
Never. Now, Sandy, you'll need to just let me. Yeah, that's better. Sandy, can you do the next one? Just let me change the slide. Okay. James couldn't concentrate on his work that day. If you're concentrating on your work, what does it mean?
He focused on his work.
That's right. Focused is a good word there. He could only think of his girlfriend. It's not a good thing. He spent the whole morning lost in, missed in, lost on, or missed on.
Lost in.
Good. Lost in thought. Now, do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Not yet. All right. Well, say you have one. Would you be lost in thought about your boyfriend all day?
I don't know.
Not yet. What does infatuated mean? If you are infatuated with somebody or something, what does it mean?
Sorry, I don't know.
All right. That's the meaning there, deeply in love with somebody. Do you think it's good or bad? Is it positive or negative, infatuation?
Positive.
Change your mind.
Negative.
Yeah, it's negative because when you first meet a new person that is a girlfriend or boyfriend, you go through a period of intense love where you are infatuated, and you think they are wonderful, they can do nothing wrong, and they're perfect. Now, when you stop being infatuated, you see your girlfriend or boyfriend as they are, and then you still like them, but you might not love them anymore. So, you still got that to come. So good luck when you meet somebody.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandy. Cindy. Got Sandys and Cindy's. Her opinion of me is not important. In fact, I something what she thinks about anything. Which one? Couldn't care more, couldn't care less, or could care more?
B. Couldn't care more. C.
Yeah, that's right. Couldn't care less. What does couldn't care less mean? What sort of emotion is it? If you couldn't care less about something, how are you feeling about it?
And
I can't hear you, Cindy.
it means don't care anymore.
That's right. You don't
Don't
care,
care
can't
it.
be bothered, don't want to hear it. So, what is something that you couldn't care less about?
The monkeys.
All right, fair. The monkeys. All right. What sort of monkeys?
In our college.
Have you got monkeys?
Oh, no.
Dogs, cats, monkeys.
Was
Have you
telling
got a
them
word for?
on my way to class this morning, in campus, I saw a monkey mother, with 4 little ones after her.
Really?
One is really running
We don't.
leg behind.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's breakfast time.
What
The,
sort of monkeys?
ordinary monkey.
Just
Maca?
the little ones.
Yeah, maca.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
they
I
are
didn't.
preserved.
We don't
Yeah, they are
have them in
preserved.
Australia.
You don't have
We've got
monkeys?
kangaroos and
Oh,
crocodiles, but no monkeys.
compared to your
Interesting. They can be
kangaroo,
quite. Yeah.
we like monkeys better.
Hmm. Okay, thank you. Ian. Ian. Good morning.
Hello?
What is written on your T-shirt?
Business administration.
Oh, I see. So you should
I
have it in
couldn't see
English, not
myself.
in Mandarin. Don't something with that. It's just not worth thinking about. Now, this is not a good example, but which one would you choose?
Struggle your head.
No.
Is it travelhead?
No. This one actually. It's not something we'd say. We would say don't trouble yourself. I've never heard trouble your head, but it will be don't trouble yourself with that. It's not worth it. In other
Why
words, you
is it
couldn't care
written?
less.
Okay.
So yeah. So what is something that you would not trouble yourself with? What is something you couldn't care less about? Give me an example.
Other person stuff, maybe private stuff that I
Okay.
don't care about.
Yeah. No, that's right. But you always have to listen to them telling you because they won't shut up. All right. Thank you.
Date. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now we're going to do. Here we are. Judy. Oh, sorry, Judy. You're the TA, not a student. My mistake. Claire.
Hello.
Hello, Claire.
Hey.
Tell me what's going on in that picture. You need to read this to get the answer. So use the caption. This is called a caption. To tell me what the picture is about or what the picture is of.
The picture is about. Hello, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. The picture is about the cow is making milk.
Yes. And what's special about this cow being milked?
And special about the delivery machine. Is that?
Yeah. And but what is a voluntary milking system?
I don't know.
Do you know what voluntary means?
No.
All right. Do you know what compulsory means?
Chang.
Can-
Is that for someone?
Yes, more or less. So if something is compulsory, you have no choice. You must do it. So what is something that is compulsory for you?
Some. You mean now?
Yes, for an example of something you have to do today. And if you don't do it, you'll be in
I
trouble.
have. Well, actually, it's not a trouble, but I have to go. Can you
You
hear
have
me?
to go.
I have to go to work today
Oh, okay, fair enough.
after this
So
class.
it's compulsory. Yeah, and that's
A little
reasonable.
bit.
Now, voluntary is the opposite. That means you go because you want to.
Mhm.
Now, so a milking system is something that milks cows. So if whose choice is it to go
Human
and get
choice.
milked? No.
Human.
All right. This is the title.
Yeah.
Well, if I tell you that, sorry, voluntary milking system is the same as robot dairy, what do you think it means? What's a robot dairy?
It means the robot have to do it every day.
That's right. And it's not a human, it's a robot.
Okay.
So apparently these cows choose when they want to get milked. So robots are coming. Have you had any contact with robots yet?
Contact.
Have you had any experience of robots?
Well, actually, no.
Not yet. Okay. Do you think that they are going to be important in society soon? Are they going to be
I
important?
It will be.
Give me an example.
Um, I hear the news that Japan are making more robot to service the food and service to house cleaner, just like that.
Nicholas, did we lose you? Ah, okay.
Can I have the token back? All right, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I think I thought you dropped out. I think the internet dropped out here. Anyway, we're back. All right. Thank you, Claire. Now, in a country where this is about dairies. A dairy is a place that cows get milked. So in a country, this is talking about Japan. So in a country that relies increasingly on imported foods like cheese and butter, Japan's milk output tumbled, that means fell, over 2 decades, touching a 30-year low in 2014. Costs rose faster than prices as the economy stagnated. If something is stagnating, it means it's not doing anything. It's just staying put. It's not active. Eroding profit. Eroding means cutting down. And aging farmers quit the business because they could not find enough young people willing to take on the hard labor of tending to cows. Tending means looking after every day. How the technology is altering that dynamic. The dynamic is talking about the hard labor of tending to cows. It's actually a reference word. So, Jasmine,
Hello?
have you ever seen a cow?
Cow?
Yep. Have you seen a cow in real life?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever milked a cow?
No.
Not yet. All right. Now, Jasmine, where did cheese and butter come from?
Milk.
Right. Do you like cheese or butter or both?
I like butter more.
Okay. Imported foods. What does that mean, imported?
Import means some country will buy some kind of goods from other countries.
That's right. Okay. What's a decade?
10 years.
Yep, 10 years. What's 100 years?
Sorry. Can you say it again?
Yeah, what is 100 years?
100 years. Century.
Yeah, how many decades?
Tenth.
What's 1,000 years?
Millennium.
Millennium. I don't know if the right spelling there. I'm not sure of how to spell it, but yes, it's. And what's 1,000,000 years?
I don't know.
Neither do I. I don't think it's got a name. Anyway, it's 10 millennia. All right, so Japan is relying increasingly on imported foods because their milk output has fallen. So that's the reason they're relying on the imported foods, because their milk production is decreasing. Now, Jasmine, costs rose faster than prices. What does that mean? Cost rose faster than prices.
I guess is it's
It's
like it's like I use $10 to have a pig, but its price is only 1,000.
That's right. So the prices are going up, but the prices are the same, but the costs are increasing because the economy is not very good. Now, what's the other reason that Japan is short of milk?
They have no young people to work.
That's right. And why don't the young people like yourself like farming or dairy farming? What's the reason?
Is too tired.
Yes, it's too hard. It's hard labour, it's hard work. You have to get up every morning at 4 o'clock, milk the cows, clean them. Now, is this changing? What is changing this?
Technology.
What's technology?
To the technology to milk the cow.
That's right. Yes. What technology do you use every day? Give me two
Smartphone.
examples. Yeah, smartphone and
maybe only smartphone.
Well, what are you using now? This isn't a smartphone. Computer, internet, that's technology. How are you getting home tonight?
Motorcycle.
Why don't you walk?
It's too far.
All right, so you're using technology. A motorcycle is technology, isn't it?
Yes, is it?
Very good. Thank you, Jasmine. Now, on the northern side of Hokkaido, Japan's top dairy producing region, Jim Kawaguchi transformed the 20-cow farm he inherited from his father-in-law 16 years ago into Asia's largest automated milking factory. So this guy, where is he? This fella, Jim, he has inherited a dairy farm from his father-in-law about 16 years ago, and it wasn't very well. He's transformed the dairy or the farm into Asia's largest automated milking factory. So automated means they're using the milking machines we've already talked about. Now robots, so this is about robots, this is automation, extract the white fluid from 360 cows 3 times a day. So remember, he only had 20 cows, now he's got 360. So he's increased his stock, his cows, by 1, 5, 10, 15, so about, or several hundred times. 3 times a day he milks them, and he makes sure the animals are fed and healthy. The machines, this is talking about the automated milking machines, the machines even gather up poop and deposit it in a furnace that generates electricity. A furnace is a fire. It's a very large fire and it generates electricity. So the poo is put in a furnace and it generates electricity through heat production. Without robots, I would have to hire up to 15 part-time workers to take care of the cows. So if you didn't have these milking robots, 15 people would have to milk these cows. So this fellow is 44, said at an interview, I can save 15 million yen, or $146,526 a year thanks to them. And that's the milking machines. Right, Jay.
Hello.
Where does Jim Kawaguchi live?
North Japan in the island of Hakka.
Good.
I don't
And
know
what has he?
how to
Yeah.
pronounce that.
No, Hokkaido. I think it's Hokkaido. If there's anybody Japanese here, please correct me. Now, what has he done? What special thing has he done?
And he milk his cow with robot and save
Yep.
labor.
That's right. What does white fluid refer to?
Milk.
Yep. And explain this sentence to me. The machines gather up poop and stick it in a furnace that generates electricity.
The machine will gather the cow's waste and
Yes.
burn it and make electricity.
That's correct. Very good. And that I was wondering how you'd get round the word poop. But right, so cow's waste. Good word, better than the one I was thinking of. All right. So, and yeah, it makes electricity. So we've got 2 functions of these machines, these robots, milking and, if you like, cleaning up after the cows. And as you said, he saves a lot of money by not using human labor. Jay, how does this appeal to you? Do you think you'd like to be a cow farmer?
No, I don't like it.
It works too hard.
It's too dirty.
Yeah, it is dirty as well, as you say. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a second, please. Right. Jason, you're next. Jason, are you there? Jason, I can only see the top of your head again.
Hi.
What is a father-in-law?
Father-in-law. Oh. His wife's father.
Good, that's right. This is wife's father. Right, so this fella Kawaguchia has no experience in farming. Now, it said the father-in-law, whose 3 daughters were not interested in running a dairy, that required them to manually attach milking tube to the teats of each cow. The teats are the things the milk comes out of in cows. I can't draw. It's called an udder. Sorry, udder, udder, and the cow's udder has teats on it. It's got about, I think it's got about 4 teats usually. I can't draw very well, but something like that. So these are called teats, and the whole thing hanging down from the cow is called an udder. So these daughters, they're not interested in milking cows. They just want to be, well, they don't want to be cow farmers, dairy farmers. To add scale, so in other words, to make this farm bigger, he merged the farm with 4 nearby dairies to create Kaluyama, a stock company that now has 610 animals, including 380 cows purchased last year. So you see, even in this sentence, he's increased the number of cows. So he's got 610 animals. What he does with the others, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, sorry, about 250 are calves or pregnant females who are not producing milk for the dairy. So in fact, that's why he's got 610 animals. You do need stock to continue. So pregnant female, they're producing new cows, so he doesn't have to buy too many. Jason, what's a calf?
I don't know.
What's a pregnant female?
A woman has a child.
That's right. Now these are pregnant female cows. And what do you think they produce when they give birth?
Male.
Calves. So calf is the singular, calf, and calves, VES, is the plural. Okay? Now he's got 610 animals, 380 produce milk. What do the others do? What do the other animals do?
producing milk.
No, that's the 380 that produce milk.
Uh,
So what do the rest do?
rest,哇，
另外的是不能 calf 是小牛，是不是？这些这个小。
All right, they are non-producing. You need stock. So he's now getting stock from the rest of the animals. He's got pregnant females, he's got calves. Eventually, the female calves will produce milk. Jason, do male calves produce milk?
no,
No. What do you think he does with them?
they grow up.
No, they get killed for meat.
Oh,
So they're dinner. So do you like beef?
yes.
Well, they're probably male calves that were killed for your benefit. Thank you, Jason. Automation has transformed the business. 1.5 billion yen to install the robots, invested this much, and 150 kilowatt hour generator. So you have to have a generator to run the dairy. So the generator produces electricity to run the robots, I presume. Kawaguchi also said his raw milk production is to quadruple this year from last year. So he's increasing the amount of milk he's producing from 4,500 to 6,500 tons, 10 times the output of the average dairy in Japan. So his dairy is very successful because it's 10 times the production of the average dairy. He's now the largest producer in Western Hokkaido. Now, with less time spent on manual labor, he can analyze data on milk output, quality, animal health to be more efficient. Tim.
Hi.
Do you drink milk?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that it is raw milk that you're drinking?
No.
Do you think the milk... No. When the milk comes out of a cow, it's called raw milk. Do you know what happens to it before it reaches you?
Pasteurized.
Say again?
Pasteurized.
That's right. All right. What does that mean? It means it heats the milk. The milk is heated. It's called pasteurization. Why do they heat it? What's the reason?
To kill some germs.
Yeah, that's right. Germs, or bacteria is the other name, the proper name. And most cows do not have any germs, but they still pasteurize the milk to be sure. Now, what does quadruple mean? So his production is quadrupling. What does that mean?
4 times more.
Yeah, 4 times more. What's 3 times?
Triple.
Treble. So there's double, treble,
Triple.
quadruple, quintuple means 5 times, and then I don't know what 6 is. Probably hextuple or something. All right, and what's special about his farm? His dairy farm. What's special about it?
10 times 10 times output
Put it in your
of
words.
the average. Sorry. Oh, if he output more milk than other farm.
That's correct. Thank you. Vaclav, what is manual labor?
It's when you work with your hands.
Correct. And he's doing less manual labor because he's using robots. What does this allow him to do instead of manual labor, Vaclav?
Well, according to the text, he can analyze data, so he can think through what is best for him, what to do, what not to do, etc.
Good answer. So he analyzes all the data about milk quality, animal health, and all these join together to produce happy cows. Do happy cows produce more milk than sad cows?
I don't know, but in Czech Republic we have a movie where a man puts headphones on cows and plays music to them, and they produce more milk. So maybe.
What sort of music did he play? Heavy rock?
I am not sure. I think in the movie he tries different music styles, and I don't know what he chooses at the end, but
It's quite interesting.
also he
Vaclav
tries
is,
singing to the cows.
yeah, it depends on the voice. Vaclav, are you more productive when you are happy or sad?
That's a tough question.
In
Because
general.
when I'm happy, I usually don't want to do some work or study, etc. But maybe when I'm sad, I I'm able to do more things that I have to do. So maybe I'm more productive when I'm sad, but I think I cannot say it.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Thank you, Vaclav.
Thank
All
you.
right. Pearl, can we have a break before we do the second page of this?
Okay.
All right, so just about 10 minutes. This is the second page and the last page of this cow lot. Um, Tiffany,
Hello.
has this article inspired you to want to work in a cow factory? Do you think you'd like to work there?
Well, I don't think I have the ability to run the farm.
Oh, what is your major?
Finance management.
Oh, you could manage a cow farm then, a dairy. You're lacking in confidence. I'll come back to you in a minute, Tiffany, and ask you some questions about cows.
Okay.
Now, use of robots might spread faster in Japan than other countries because the industry, populated mostly by small family farms and aging owners, so this is giving you details about the dairy farms. A dairy farm is one that produces milk through cows, and it's telling you that most people that work on these farms, populated means staffed by small family farms and aging owners. Aging owners are people getting old. And these are faced with a labour shortage. That means they haven't got anybody to work, and they need to get more efficient. So small family farms, they're run by the family, and some are efficient, but not many. The number of dairies has plunged 28%. That's gone down. Plunge means goes down rapidly in just 8 years, and there's only 18,000 left. And that's from ministry data. That's a department of the government in Japan, the ministry, and they show their data shows that there's only 18,000 farms left. Farmers are also getting older. That's aging farmers, aging owners, with the average age at 67 compared with 63 in 2005. And this tells you there's not many young people coming in because the age is getting older, not younger. Young people are reluctant to take over their parents' farm. They can't see a bright future. Their earnings are small compared with other jobs. Tiffany, what's the problem? What are the two main problems facing dairy farms in Japan? Why aren't they profitable? What are their problems?
One of them is because of the labor shortage.
Yes.
And the industry have to become more efficient.
All right, that's two. Give me a third one. You're doing very well.
And young people don't think that they're willing to take over the parents' farms because the earnings won't satisfy them.
That's right. And so those are the three main. There's actually also the owners are getting old. That's related to the young people business. What is a bright future?
A promising future.
Yes. So do you have a bright future? Not working on farms?
Yes, I do.
So what do you see? I'm going to use the word envisage. Envisage means here see. So what do you envisage as your bright future?
Well, recently,
not recently.
Recently, I applied for the graduate school, and
Yep.
next year I'm going to Singapore as an exchange student. And I hope after I graduate from a graduate school, I can work in the accounting firms.
Good.
That's my plan. Yeah.
Do you think your English will improve in Singapore?
I think their accent is really hard to.
We might talk English la. Don't say la. It's dreadful. It might be okay in Singapore, but outside they have a very distinct accent to Western ears.
Yes.
It's quite odd. It's quite understandable, and the English is grammatically perfect, but it's very distinctively Singapore. It's sort of, I can't do it, but it's clipped.
They speak very fast.
They do, and they often speak in Chinglish. That's what we call it, Chinglish. What's that?
Chinese mixed English.
That's right. And I worked in Singapore for several years, and it's not just, you get a bit of Chinese, a bit of Mandarin, bit of English, mainly English, but they also throw in Hokkien, and sometimes also bits of Punjabi or Indian, because it's such a strange island. And I reckon I used to lose about a quarter of what they said. So there was a lot, and it leads to all sorts of problems. Quite interesting. You should understand more because you speak Mandarin and English.
Yes, I hope so.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
All right. The government last year began subsidies, that's extra money for milking robots, after signing this Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal, which means cheaper dairy imports and more competition for domestic producers. Sales of milking robots in Japan jumped 67%, doubling last year. Now, who's next? EJ Lin. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
What does EJ stand for?
It's sound like my Chinese name.
Okay, that's good. All right, EJ. That's an interesting name. When it says Trans-Pacific Partnership, this is a trade agreement. Who are the, or what two countries is this trade agreement with? So who are the two countries involved in the Trans-Pacific Partnership? You need to think of the Pacific Ocean and who are the countries involved in this partnership?
China.
No. Japan and...
Oh,
No.
America.
Yes, that's right. So the US and...
Japan.
That's right. So those are the two main people. Now, the two main countries. It says there's going to be two main results or consequences. What are they? So two main consequences of this. What are they?
You mean consequence of what?
Consequences of this partnership. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this partnership for Japan?
Dairy imports will become more cheaper, and so there
Yep.
more competition in domestic Japan.
Yes, and that's the problem, because you're going to get cheap. Where are the cheaper imports coming from?
The U.S., America.
That's right. And what is that going to do to prices of milk in Japan or dairy imports?
The price will fall down.
Correct. And that's the problem, because while it's good for the people of Japan, that means that yeah, that's right, go on, the customers can buy cheap milk, but
the producer will earn less.
That's right, and that's a big problem. What is the remedy? What has happened? Sorry, what are farmers in Japan doing to try and improve themselves?
Use robots.
That's right. So they're hoping to use robots, and that reduces their costs, probably. Would you like to visit a dairy farm?
Sure. Yes.
Have you ever visited a farm?
When I was very little.
Little.
Yes.
What is your favorite animal? I know it's not a cow, but what's your favorite pet?
Dog.
A dog, all right. If you went to... No? Whatever. So, are you changing your mind now?
What? No. Okay.
So still a dog, all right. They eat dogs in some parts of Korea and China. If you went to a place where you were served a dog for dinner,
No, definitely
would you
not.
eat? You wouldn't eat it. All right. Thank you, EJ. All right.
Excuse
So
me,
one robot can handle it. Yes.
Would you eat it?
Possibly. I don't mind
Me
trying
too.
new things. I've eaten
not
crocodile, kangaroo, and strange things in China I never actually identified and probably didn't want
It's
to.
it's illegal to eat dog or cat in Taiwan, according to
Is
our
it?
law. Yeah, yeah.
Because I believe in China they actually breed a particular type of hound called a Neapolitan Mastiff. It's a huge dog that they breed especially to eat in some, not all of China, just some places. But we once did an article on it, and some of the students were quite, well, they didn't approve. It's just another animal. There's really no difference in eating a cow or eating a dog. It's just cultural. Where pigs? What country? What countries do not eat pigs, or what cultures do not eat pigs?
Muslim.
Muslim.
Yeah, Muslim. And another culture that does not eat pig. It's in the Middle East, and it's next to or near Iran, and it's full of a certain type of people. Again, it's religious, so Muslim and
Jewish.
Jewish, correct. So it's Israel, in other words. Now, what are the names, two types of meat from a pig? What's the name of the pig meat?
Pork.
Pork and that's right, bacon.
Nicholas, do any country eat
Yes.
cat?
Yes, I believe they're eaten in Korea and China. When I was at university, we used to have a takeaway called Greasy Pete's. Sorry, not Greasy Pete's, not Pets. And it was
Did you
run by
try
a
before?
Chinese, I did, a Chinese person in New Zealand, which is where I used to live about 25 years ago. And Greasy Pete's was the place that all students would get their burgers from. You'd buy your burgers and chips from Greasy Pete's, and it was always said that he used to catch the local cats and cook them. So really they were cat burgers. Now that was what we call an urban legend. Urban legend. Everybody used to say it, but Jenny, what does that mean, an urban legend, do you think?
Urban legend.
Hmm.
Mm, urban legend. Is it in city
Yes.
Made up. Made up story.
Yeah, so in other words, it's a lie. You know, students like making up stories. So instead of calling it a lie, we call it an urban legend. An urban myth, M-Y-T-H. A myth is like a fairy story. So we are in fairy stories. Have you heard of Cinderella?
Yes, I have heard that.
Well, Cinderella is a fairy story, or it's not really a myth. A fairy story is something that's not obviously not real, where they usually live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Okay, what myth do you know, or what fairy stories do you have in your culture?
Have you heard? Have you heard 嫦娥 fly to the moon?
No. Go on.
And 嫦娥is a girl's name, a woman's name, and he and she and his husband and her and she oh they they have a good life, but one day they 嫦娥 eat some eat some drugs and she fly to the moon and she doesn't meet she meets with her husband once a year, right?
Is that a happy ending or a sad ending?
Sorry, I forgot the story.
That's all right. Mikhail, tell me a story from your culture.
Which story?
And it can't be Batman.
Oh, it's not from my country.
Just a fairy story.
Excuse me, I can tell you an urban legend from Czech Republic if you want.
That's you do that. That sounds more interesting, actually.
In Czech Republic, people used to say that some junkies put infected needles in the subway, to the seats in the subway. So you should always look before you sit. But I found out that it is a hoax. It is an urban legend. So this is one we have.
Yeah. And that word hoax is a good way to describe an urban legend. Hoax is a pleasant word for a lie. In other words, it's false. It's not real. Okay, thank you. All right, just to finish this off. The traffic, that means the cows are managed by the machine. It uses cameras to look at the cow. It uses camera to find the nipples on the cow. The nipples produce milk. So remember I told you there's, actually just let me show you a picture so there's no new misunderstandings of what we're talking about. So a milking cow has, this is the udder, U-D-D-E-R, and this is the teat, or the other word is the nipple. And that's where the milk comes out of. So they have a machine that goes on here and sucks the milk out by squeezing the nipple. So Lily,
Hi.
do males have nipples?
Yes. Male also
What are they
have
for
nipples.
then?
Hmm?
Why do males have nipples if they can't produce milk?
Every animals, not animals.
Yeah, we're animals.
Mammals have
All right,
nipples.
mammals. Yeah, but I know that. But why have males got nipples if we don't need them?
Hmm. Um, I've never think about that.
Nicholas, they
All
can
right.
become
There's
female
an
as well
yes.
if they want. They can become
They can
female
be
as
what?
well if they want.
They
They can
can. That's true.
change their gender to female.
Yeah, that's what they would put there for. What is a belly button? What does it signify, Lily?
The belly button is um, when mammal animals are in their mother's belly, they get uh, get their nutritions from the yeah
You have from the what?
there from from their mother through the string.
Yeah, that's cool.
Umbilical
It's cool. They're good. Umbilical cord. And what's it attached to?
um, attached to the baby's belly
Yeah, the
button.
belly button on one side. So that's the baby. What's the other side attached to in the mother?
Mm, I know the Chinese, but yeah. Pla placenta.
That's right, the placenta. So those are words which an educated person would know in English, and obviously you know in Chinese.
Mm.
Thank you. We'll ask you next week what nipples are for in males. All right. So the the operations at this place, this is the farm we've been talking about. They're attracting visitors from Indonesia, and the reason they're looking for tips on how to revive. Revive means make make give them more life. So it's like if you are unconscious and revive, you come around, you become conscious again. So revive farms struggling with low profitability and high costs. So these farms are not doing very well. They're dying, in other words. And if you revive something, you give it life. Kawaguchia said the business has been so successful that it's brightened his outlook for the future. So in other words, he now thinks he's got a bright future. He hopes to expand into cattle breeding, feed sales and tourism, and he might acquire or manage operations of retiring farmers. So, Phoebe,
Hello. Hi.
what goals does this farmer have for his future? So this guy Kawaguchia, what 3 goals does he have for his future?
To expand in cattle breeding,
Yep.
feed sales, and tourism.
Yeah, and also might
Um,
manage. Now
yes.
you choose one of those and explain it to me.
Expand into cattle breeding means
All right, what's cattle breeding?
to produce more cow. Just to
Yes, that's right.
feed. Yeah.
Okay, have you ever seen a cow?
Yes.
What do you call cow meat?
Can you repeat the question?
What? Yeah, the meat from a cow. What's it called?
Beef. Beef.
What do you call meat from a bull?
I don't know. Steak.
More beef. Yeah, a steak can be anything. You can have a beef steak.
Oh.
You can have a pork steak, and I suppose you could have a cat steak or a dog steak. Now, how do you spell steak?
S-T-A.
No.
Forgot. Oh. S-T-E-A-K.
Right. There's another spelling of steak there. What's that?
Do you mean S-T-A-K-E? Or
No, I mean S-T-A-K-E.
S-T-A-K?
S-T-A-K-E.
I don't know this word.
All right, you can have a stake in a game, in a gambling game. And that means you put money on something. Or you can have a stake. Phoebe, what degree are you doing?
MIS.
All right. So you are staking your career on gaining a degree in IT. So you're putting effort or money into something you want. That's a stake. An S-T-A-K-E. All right. Daniel.
Yes.
Choose one of those two stakes and use it in a sentence. If you don't choose, I'll give you one. All right, the stake, you need to finish that sentence.
The steak.
Or you can change it if you want. Or make it easier. The stake, E-E-A-K, was Daniel, can you help him? Sorry, Greg. Oh, sorry, Greg. Daniel, can you help him?
他是要这个还是这个？
Can you repeat your questions?
Choose one of the two steaks and make a sentence.
Um, the steak is delicious.
Good. Howard, you're stuck with the other steak.
Steak.
What's your sentence?
Um, use the steak make the sentence.
Yes. You can have a steak or two steak. The stakes are high. It's not an easy word to use if you're not sure about its meaning.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it
not
means
sure
in
about
some
the
form
meaning.
to gamble.
Oh,
So it can be, it usually implies that you're putting money or effort into something you want. So you can make a stake on a horse race, for example. So that means you put money in, you're gambling, or you can stake your career on getting a high GPA, grade point average. So you can use it as a noun or as a verb depending on the context. All right. Do you like games, computer games, online or?
no, I don't. I don't like to play the computer
No, you
games.
don't. You're not very helpful, are you? All right. I think that's enough on. Actually, no, that's enough on stakes. Thank you. All right. Shall we have a break, Pearl, and then I'll come back and do some listening.
Okay. Nicholas, I think this word is not very familiar to a Taiwanese student. We seldom use this word.
No, obviously. It's not that common in English, but it's usually something from a news article in written, but we don't often say it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Another short break? Okay.
Yeah, just a short break. Baby born with DNA from three people. Is anybody doing science, Pearl? Or are they all from IT backgrounds?
Yeah, me and Michael are doing IT.
Okay, you answered the question. What's DNA? What does it stand for, and what is it?
I think the A stands for acid, um, but I don't know what D and N. I think N is nucleate or something like that.
Yep.
And D means the, like to be.
Yeah, denucleate
What's
acid probably,
that's right?
like
It's
double nucleate acid.
Deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. What is it?
It's genetic information. Everybody has a different DNA. You get a part of
Correct.
DNA from your mother and part from your father.
Right. So what's special about this baby?
That it has DNA from three people, which is I
That's
don't know
right.
how
Have
it's
you read
possible.
about this?
No.
All right. Well, you'll know all about it by the end of today. I find it quite interesting. All right. So this we're just being born in Mexico with DNA from three people. The first baby's been born from a controversial new technique. It combines DNA from three people. Scientists who helped the baby's parents say the goal, the aim, was to prevent the child from inheriting a fatal genetic disease from his mother. So a genetic disease is a disease that you inherit. In other words, get from your mother or your father or both that can kill you. It's called a fatal genetic disease. Fatal means it will kill you. It may be before you're born, or it may be days, months, or years after you're born. His mother had 4 pregnancy losses. She lost 4 pregnancies, and 2 babies who passed away, died at 8 months old and 6 years from a brain disorder. That means a disease or of the brain that typically results in death in early childhood. All right. Jason rather. Not back yet. Jason, are you hiding or are you shy?
Hi.
I think that's better. Jason, what is a fatal genetic disease?
Sorry?
What is a fatal genetic disease? Would you like to have one?
No. and, 我知道，你算inherited disease that can kill you.
All right. What's inherited?
Family.
Yes, familial. It's from your family, if you like. How many parents have you got?
Two.
Good. And how many chromosomes have you got?
Oh. 23 hairs.
No. Pairs. All right, that's better. So how many chromosomes in total?
46.
All right, EJ. How do your chromosomes, I'm typing this for you, differ from the males in this class? So that's the question there. How do your chromosomes differ from the males in this class?
Last pair. Females and males are different. I think males.
So what have you
the
got?
last pair.
That you have two. You have what? Males have one different chromosome to you. So what have you got that's different?
Females are X, and males are XY.
Good, that's right. The Y chromosome makes you male, and the double X or 2X is these are called the sex chromosomes. And they define you as male or female. So you got one pair of sex chromosomes. Do you think all the males in your class have got XY? Or are some... What about Jason? Do you think he's got XY? Just say yes to be on the safe side.
Yes, I think.
Okay, thank you, EJ. Jason, do you agree with? Do you think she's XY?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Tim, What this woman is carrying a fatal genetic disease. So this woman that's having the baby, she's carrying a fatal genetic disease. What have been the results of this for her?
Her baby died very early.
Yes. What did it die from? What disease?
Genetic disease. Genetic disease.
Yes. And what organ did it affect? What organ of the body did it affect?
Brain disorder.
That's right. How many brains have you got?
1.
Good. Thank you. Vaclav, how do you know this woman was very keen on having a baby?
I think because he had already 4 losses and
Yeah,
their babies died.
that's right. So
Her
she's
babies
actually
died.
lost 6 babies. Yeah, 4 before birth and 2 after. So it's a bit. It shows a mother who's very determined, and then she's gone through this DNA one. That's correct. Thank you. All right. So the baby was born at 5 months to Jordanian parents on April the 6th. So these parents are from Jordan in the Middle East. The family traveled to Mexico after consulting with American fertility specialists led by Dr. Zhang. The child was at risk of inheriting DNA for Lee syndrome. That's this thing. A syndrome is a group of symptoms. So Lee syndrome, a severe neurological disorder that usually kills within a few years of birth. So brain disorder is the same as a neurological disorder, and the result of this, it usually kills not immediately but within a few years of birth. It also causes you to lose pregnancies. This woman's lost four pregnancies, so they were never born alive. In test, the mother was healthy, but 1/4 of her mitochondria was passing on the genes for Lee syndrome. TA, can you please put up the word in Mandarin for mitochondria? I don't want to try and explain it. It's too hard. It's a particular type of. It's inside your human cell and it makes energy. But I don't want to try and I don't want to get too. I don't want to make it too complex. But if you know the Mandarin word, you might know what it is. But I don't want to explain it too much. Thank you. So a mitochondria, it's like a little tiny, what we call an organelle, ORGAE, an organelle. It's intracellular. That means it's inside your cell, and its role in the cell is to produce energy. It also has DNA in it, and it's called mitochondrial DNA. And it's quite a complicated topic. I know a little bit about it because I used to do this sort of thing. But anyway, so Tiffany,
Yes.
where are the parents from?
Jordan.
Correct. Why did they go to Mexico, do you think? That's a question. The answer's not there.
They're trying to figure out some way to born healthy baby.
Correct. But why didn't they have it done in America?
Because Dr. John is the specialist in this field.
Yes, but why, therefore, why did they not have the baby in America? Why did they go to Mexico, do you think?
Maybe it's not illegal in America.
It is legal in America. It's not legal in, sorry, it's not legal in America. It is legal in Mexico.
Okay.
So yes, they went to America. They went to America to get the best doctor, but they went to Mexico to have the baby. What is a fertility specialist?
A professional doctor who is a doctor who is special for professional in fertility, born.
How to have babies.
Yeah, how to have a baby.
That's right. Fertility means somebody concerned with your ability to have a child. It can be male or female, depending on who has the problem. So in this family, who has the genetic problem, mother or father?
A mother.
Correct. And what does it cause, or what is the problem?
Lee syndrome.
Yep, and what does it do?
Severe neurological disorder.
Which is?
And it will. It's a brain disorder.
Yeah, it's a brain disorder. I know, it's quite complicated. I don't know what it is. I know it's a brain disorder, but it doesn't tell you anything else. Who do you think Lee was?
I think it's somebody's last name.
That's right. And what's the syndrome?
Combination of disease.
Combination of symptoms for a disease. A symptom. Give me, if you have a bad cold, what are two symptoms of a bad cold?
Cough and
yes,
sore throat.
All right. What's a runny nose?
Your nose didn't work with you.
What do you call the stuff coming out of your nose?
Snot? Oh.
Snot is, it's not an offensive word, but it is a slang word. The medical term is actually mucus. But most people call it snot. So when you blow your nose, you get snot out of it. You don't want to show us, do you?
No, I don't want.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. Scientists believe that three-person IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. It means that the baby is conceived. I'm just writing this. C-I. It's conceived outside the womb. I've just written that there. So in vitro means the baby is a test tube baby. It's conceived outside the womb. The womb is the female body organ where the baby is grown inside. Its proper name is uterus, and again that's the word that most females would know in English, and I'm sure you know in Mandarin. So scientists believe this three-person IVF could help women who carry DNA mutations. That's DNA mutation is something wrong with it. It's not correctly formed. So this three-person IVF can help women to have healthy babies who have these DNA problems. With a third person's DNA worked into the baby's genes, defects like blindness, that should be or, not of, So blindness, epilepsy will not be passed on. In initial reports, DNA from a donor egg amounts to less than 1% of the embryo's genes. Now, an embryo is a very early fetus. An embryo is a fetus. Fetus is older, but an embryo is very early. So what they do, essentially, the baby is made with the genes of the intended mother and father with the help of healthy mitochondrial DNA from the donor embryo. So they take a donor embryo. You'll see, when I play you the video, you'll actually see this more clearly. But they take an embryo from another woman. They get DNA from the cells of the embryo, and they put it into the embryo from the mother and father. Perhaps I should have played you the video first, but you'll see this more clearly. It's easy to understand once you see it with a diagram, which will be on the video. Jenny?
Yes.
What is a donor egg?
Donor egg. The egg that was donated from others.
Male or female?
Female.
That's right, another woman. What is epilepsy?
That's a disease. Or you make you tremble and you can control yourself.
That's right.
Or
And blindness?
blindness, and that make your eye and you can see.
All right, what are the five senses? You've told me that you can see, so sight is one. What are the other four senses?
Smell and
Yep.
Smell and hear, and you can hear your
Yes. Hearing?
and hearing and feeling, touching.
Yeah, that's right.
You feel
Touch.
touching. And
One more.
a taste.
Taste. What is a sixth sense?
Sixth sense. It's a sense that you 第六感. You I don't know how to express sixth sense, but I know that the meaning.
Yeah. It's like you're able to make predictions about things.
Oh, yeah.
So for some reason you can say, oh, tomorrow I'll inherit $3 million. Or I'll get run down by a bus. So that's extra. You can understand things that happen, and there's no reason for your being able. Some people believe in it, other people say you're stupid.
You can sense something.
That's right. You can sense something that's going to happen. Now, what's an embryo?
Little baby.
All right, a little baby, a little. Is it born yet?
Not yet.
No.
Still
And what are genes?
Gene. It's it's that control your what what you might grow in the future.
That will do. They're bits of DNA.
Like,
And what is the other spelling of genes?
pardon?
What is the other spelling of genes?
Jan. S.
S. Do you wear them?
So I seldom wear them.
Seldom wear them. Okay.
I think
Thank
that's
you.
not comfortable.
They're not comfortable. All right, fair enough. All right, so they're going to try. Well, they are putting mitochondrial DNA from a donor into the egg of the mother, and the resulting they're saying that the DNA from the donor egg is only less than 1% of the embryo's genes. So most of the baby's DNA is still from the parents. And that's one of the things that makes this acceptable to some people. So well over 99% of the baby's DNA is still the original parents. It's just by putting in mitochondrial DNA, they try to correct the abnormality in the DNA. So in February 25th, the United Kingdom has said it's okay. It's the only country in the world that's allowed it. It's still not law, but it's likely to become law in the next few months. So far, no other country has introduced laws to permit the technique. In Mexico, nobody cares. It's not very good, but they don't have such laws. It's very rarely done. So if you want to test stuff, go to Mexico. Art Kaplan, the director of medical ethics at New York University, is concerned with the slippery slope that might follow. The big issue over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be how far do we go in pursuit of the perfect baby. Mikhail, why? What is a slippery slope?
I think it might be some idiom, because slippery, it means
Yes.
kind of shoes. So it doesn't
Yes.
make me any sense.
All right. A slope is this. If it's slippery, it means that you slide down it. Now, as you say, it's an idiom, a slang term. Now, he's saying the big issue is how far do we go in pursuit of the perfect baby? So he's talking about genetics. So what's a slippery slope in this context? If we make a 3-person baby, what's the next step, do you think?
Maybe 4-parent baby.
Yeah, well, do you want a perfect baby? Most women say, yes, yes, I want a perfect baby, nothing wrong with it. So the other term we use is designer babies. What do you think that is, designer babies?
I think that it means that you could make your own baby, like
That's right.
create with the perfect skills, perfect
And
appearance.
that's the slippery slope. He said, do you think
Okay.
he wants that to happen or not want it to happen?
I think he definitely don't want to happen it.
Correct. So he's a medical ethicist, which is people that try and tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Thank you. Sandy,
Yes.
if you wanted a perfect baby and there was a slight risk of a fetal abnormality, that means that your baby might have something wrong with it. Would you use this technique? to have a perfect baby? What would be your decision? It might, it's not definite.
Yeah, maybe I will consider it in the
Hmm.
future.
Okay. This will be your future. It won't be mine or Pearl's. But when you come to have your children, you might be able to have... Would you have a child outside the body? So in other words, if we could grow a child in a laboratory, would you do that instead of having a baby naturally?
Yeah, maybe if it can make my baby health, I
Hmm.
I may consider it.
So you are a very progressive girl. That means that you're very liberal. Now, after we've shown the video, I'll come back to what liberal means. Thank you, Sandy. Pearl, can you please give these questions to people?
Okay, done.
All right, you can start playing that when you want. Okay. So why are these children called three-parent babies? That should be fairly easy.
I'm Tiffany, and these babies are so called because they are created by DNA from three people.
Correct. And good words there, created. So DNA please you to create the embryos. Why are these babies being created? Created
Hello,
means
I'm
made.
Jenny.
Yes, Jenny?
These babies are created to prevent some bad disease from passing down.
That's right. So in the hope that some genetic will not be passed on. Passed on means given from the parents to the baby, to the child.
Yeah.
Yep. What's wrong with the baby called Jessica Newell?
Hi, I'm Lily. The Jessica Newell has some genetic problem that cause her brain is dying.
Yes. So genetically causing defective mitochondria, and yes, she's got a brain problem. What are the symptoms of Jessica's disease?
Hello, I'm Sandy, and the symptoms of Jessica's disease is that her brain is getting weak.
Yep. So brain is dying and her muscles are wasting away. So she has two things actually, dying brain which kills her, and there's something also wrong with her muscles. In Britain, how strongly was this vote passed?
Hello, I'm Daniel. About 1/3.
So 3-1 majority in favour, which is very interesting, because at the moment in Australia and Taiwan and UK, US and the rest of Europe, it's not allowed. Now, according to the video, what's the function of mitochondria within an embryo?
Hello, I'm Iyun.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure about this. Is it that it can make sure that the embryo is healthy?
Yeah. It says they're like tiny engines that power the embryo. Don't worry, it's a difficult question.
Okay.
So, but they make energy inside cells, and by giving the energy, they power the embryo. It's not a very good expression, but that's what they actually do, and that's from the video. I wouldn't say that, but that's what the video says. And how are three-parent babies made?
The baby is made with the genes of the three people.
Yep.
But most of the genes are from intended parents. And
Correct.
And the genes from the third person is just to repair the wrong genes information.
Correct.
So something like
so they take a little bit out, put it in the mitochondria, and for some reason the mitochondrial DNA repairs the rest of the DNA, and they don't really understand why that occurs, but it appears to. What is a hybrid?
Hybrid is some mix of.
That's right. It's a mixture. So you've got 3 lots of DNA, so it's a hybrid. It's more than one. A speaker claims this technique is not genetic modification. Why not?
Because they don't actually modify the nucleus of the egg.
Yep. The nucleus is not being altered, and 50% of the genes from parents are still there. So in other words, the genetic defect's still there, but it apparently gets repaired. What do critics of the technique think or claim?
It goes too far. I mean, they think that this is just kind of the way to design our babies.
Yep. What do you think? Do you think they should use it or stop it?
Yeah, absolutely stop it, because I don't like these techniques anymore. It's so stupid, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Now, I'm going to poll you. Just a minute. I'm going to give you a poll. I'm not going to produce any results, so you can give your opinion anonymously. I'm not going to say who you are. I'll just give the overall class. Now, scenario, so you are married, or with your long-term partner if you wish, and you're pregnant, and you have a 50-50 chance. That means a half and half chance of having a baby with a genetic disorder. Let's make a fatal genetic disorder. It will kill your baby. Now, your two choices in the poll are: one, yes, I'd use genetic manipulation, for example, three-person baby. There are other forms of genetic manipulation. That means we change it. So yes, I would. Two, no, I wouldn't. So that's your poll. I'm just going to put that up. So one or two. And as I said, it's anonymous. I will not put your name up. Okay, I'll put that up in a second. I can see the results, which are quite interesting, actually. The majority of people say yes, but a significant number say no. I'm sorry, this thing takes a while to put the results up. Here we are. So there's 18 out of 24 people answered. The majority of people, actually, when you consider the numbers, 11 people said yes they would, 7 people say no they wouldn't. Now, so in other words, over half of you still say no you wouldn't. I can tell you that the people that said they wouldn't, well, just a minute, I'm not going to say your names, don't worry. I'm just looking. I think, no, they're all girls apart from one, no, they're all girls apart from 2 people. And the ones that said yes, they're a mixture of boys and girls. So it's quite interesting. Now, I'm going to use this to introduce the notion of a spectrum. So this is a if you like a spectrum is like a range. There's a spectrum or range of choices. Now, they go from liberal to moderate to conservative. Now, Claire, if I said you have liberal views, what do I mean? So if you have liberal views, what does it mean?
Does that mean I can look wild in well mind?
Yeah, all right. Your views are wild. Are you a wild child?
A little bit when I was child.
A little bit. All right. You know that poll I just did? Would one yes or two no? Which would be the liberal view? Yes or no?
Sorry?
The poll I just did. Which is a liberal view? Yes, you would have genetic manipulation, or no, not.
Is that yes?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, and no is conservative. That. So Daniel, what is conservative?
I think conservative means that your thinking is traditional, or
Yes, that's right. Traditional is a good word there. Cuba. What is moderate? A moderate point of view.
Yeah, moderate, like middle, not too much
Yeah,
liberal
middle.
or not too much conservative.
So you say, well, in some circumstances, perhaps I might have surgery. In others, perhaps not. So, for example, abortion. Some people
Sorry?
say, take the view of abortion. Some people say yes, everybody should have abortion. Other people say no, never. Some people say, well, not usually, but if somebody is raped, then yes, they should be allowed an abortion. So that moderate point of view depends on context, on circumstances.
Yes.
So that example we had, 1 yes, 2 no, the majority of people were liberal. I didn't actually give you a moderate choice there, which is a bit naughty, but that was deliberate. So that's a spectrum of points of view. Now, we talk about right wing, right and left wing. Does anybody know what that means? So, right wing politician, left wing politician. I won't ask because probably most people, but what is a right wing politician? Does anybody know?
Yeah, actually, I guess I know because in our
Yep.
country, especially, there is so political issues about right and left wing. So if you are
Yeah.
if you are right, it's more like conservative, I think.
Yeah, that's
Or
correct.
yeah, but the left wing is more liberal. But in these
Yep.
times, especially in the 2000s, after the 2000s years, there is not actually something like these issues. I hope it will not be,
Mm.
but yeah.
Anyway,
The right
you're
wing is
right. The right
also,
wing, sorry,
yeah, is
yeah,
more
left,
related to, for example, religious or something. But the left wing
yes,
more,
correct.
uh, not apolitic.
Yeah, that's how I used to remember it. Religious conservative, RC.
Yeah.
And anyway, L, liberal. Um, what are greenies? Actually, Lucy, what are greenies? Lucy, what are greenies?
Is one button. Is that means environmental protection?
That's right. They want the environment. They're very important about they're very concerned with the environment. Jason, are greenies liberal or conservative, do you think?
Liberal.
Actually, it depends. They generally don't want change. But if something is bad, they want to change it. So it really depends on what situation you're describing. So if you wanted to set up a new coal mine, like they do in Australia, their views will be very conservative. Don't do it. If you said we want to get rid of a dam of water, sorry, a dam is a big, if you get rid of a dam, they'd be saying yes, 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 get rid of it. So it just depends on the context of your argument. And they're certainly not moderate. They're usually one level or the other depending on whatever you're doing. So what do you think, Jason? Are you a greenie or are you conservative?
I think I'm conservative.
Okay. Do you think most Taiwanese people are conservative?
No.
No, that's interesting. I generally find Asians to be very conservative, traditional. Not all, but they're traditional. They do, you know, they don't want to do too much outside their comfort zones. EJ, what is a comfort zone?
The things that you are used to,
Yep.
it, and you don't want to change.
Right, so what's your comfort zone? Give me an example. This will be the last one in the class.
Maybe school or my family is my comfort zone.
That's right, so you don't like meeting new people, you want to, so you're conservative in that point of view. Are you a traditional girl?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else, Pearl?
Yes, I'd like to know when you're talking about all this character, I'd like to know the national character of our exchange students to describe their country. You know, if
All right,
your
Vaclav,
Czech is, yeah.
tell us about your country. Are you conservative or progressive or liberal?
I think nowadays people in Czech Republic are very radical because the migration crisis, etc. There are new political parties with radical opinions, radical ideas. I don't actually like it, but because the situation in Czech Republic is not that good as, for example, in Germany, people don't have so much money. They are losing their jobs. They tend to these ideas. So I think the character now is mostly radical.
Right. Do you agree, Mikhail?
Yes, I'm also from Czech Republic, and everything what Washik said, that's right. I think
Right.
I have no...
Tuba, are you from the Czech Republic as well, or another strange land?
No, I'm from Turkey.
Okay, that's right. I apologize.
So I just want to start with the bad things and then the good things, okay? The bad things, people, yeah, I don't want to mention about the politics side, but the people are generally lazy in some fields. I'm sorry, but it's like that. They care about football a lot, and men are dominant than women, unfortunately, some fields. And the good things that I said, yeah, family-oriented people, and they are so emotional. Something like
Are you
this.
emotional?
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you, Tuba.
We can tell by the way that you abruptly say that you are against the generic modification. But I'd like to know your observation of the character here in Taiwan you observe of the people,
yeah,
of the society.
Yeah, this is a little bit different from us because they are not, how can I say, they don't want to talk. Like, they are shy people. Sometimes I feel like that.
Shy.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're so helpful when we communicate with them. Yeah, they're really helpful people, but a little bit shy.
How about you? What's your observation?
I think that Taiwanese people are really cheerful. Oh, they are all smiling all the time.
Yeah,
for example, in the shop, when I give them a big banknote, in Czech Republic they would be angry with me because they have to change it to yeah, to the coins. But here they are really thankful for every money I give them.
And when I
That's what
go
I
to
like.
I'm sorry. When I go to the supermarket, I want to ask something, but they don't know English, absolutely. But they, even if they don't know English, they just want to help anyway. And sometimes after the shopping, they just want to take a picture with me, and I'm shocked why. And they're really cute.
Celebrity.
Yeah, a little celebrity.
You want to add anything? Okay. So I guess that gives us the rest of the class some clue, right? You should speak up so that Luba don't think you're shy. I don't think you're shy at all. Okay, Nicholas, that was fun.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Bye bye now.